beautiful day in the neighbor pool. A beautiful day to be Deadpool. It's story time. Story time. Got any fans of Mr. Rogers out there today? I'm a pretty big fan of Captain America myself. Are you all ready for story time?
Yeah!
I know Hawaiian shirt guy's ready for story time. Hello there. All right, well, that's good to hear because I certainly have a story to tell. Gosh, I love to talk. Today's story is a beloved bedtime classic, a classic fairy tale, if you will, mashed together with an incredibly profitable licensing agreement. You guessed it, it's Cinderpool. No spoilers. All right, I'm glad we got some fans of Cinderpool out there. Let me just get on my reading glasses. There we go. If I can just turn on this. Okay, that doesn't work. Very good. Oh, look at Dogpool. Oh, look at these adorable drawings. Come on, give it up for Dogpool. Thank you. I scribbled these myself. All right, once upon a time. You know what? It just feels wrong when I'm doing it with myself. Why don't we all say it together, shall we? 1, 2, 3. Once upon a time. See, isn't that so much more fun and interactive when we're all in this together? For those of you that didn't participate, get your head in the game! Anyway, upon that time, once, Cinderpool lived in a big mansion with his shiny-headed step professor and a bunch of hideous step mutants. The biggest one, Colossus, was always making up stupid rules that no one cared about. Like, please stop labeling other people's food in the fridge with your own initials. And for the love of Feige, stop hanging your underwear from the ceiling fan. I know, I never understood that rule. The other main step mutant, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, such a cool name, was always just texting and rolling her eyes. They were both super jealous because Cinderpool had a much, and I mean much, larger fan base. They don't call this story time with Colossus now, do they? Anyway, one day, an expendable non-union extra came running across the mansion grounds, screaming. King Thanos was planning the biggest battle of Phase 3, the last truly relevant phase. Cinderpool desperately wanted to go to the big battle, but Colossus said, no. Too dangerous. Cinderpool don't know how to be part of team. And then Colossus ripped up Cinderpool's nicest costume before Negasonic Teenage Warhead, again such a cool name, made it explode into a million pieces with her mind powers. And then popped her gum. Oh, so Gen Z. On fleek, Sigma, no cap. Cinderpool was very bummed and felt very vulnerable and exposed. Minus 100,000 aura, as Negasonic would say. He ran out onto the mansion grounds, stumbling for dramatic effect. How you doing there, child? When suddenly, a big, strange, sparkly circle appeared. And from out of that big, strange, sparkly circle walked out Cinderpool's very hairy god mutants. All right, come on, Logie Bear. You have to actually step through the sparkly circle. Otherwise, the audience isn't going to know that you're here yet. Yes! Where's your cardigan, by the way? I made one for you, too.
I shredded that.
Okay, that's fair. I'm just glad you're here, and so are they. Oh, very hairy god mutant Wolverine! I desperately want to go to the big battle, but my mean step mutants vaporize my costume! Growled Wolverine lovingly.
What?
I don't have a costume. I need to go to the big battle.
Just get another costume then, and stop writing me into these stories.
Okay, well, after that very sage and somewhat Australian advice, Cinderpool headed off to the wardrobe department to get a freshly laundered costume, and then went to the big battle. Cinderpool missed most of it, though, because he stopped for some chimichangas along the way. You know, priorities, right? Yes, guy gets it. But rest assured, when Cinderpool got there, the Avengers were still winning. Captain America looked so cool and so ruggedly handsome in those pants. I love Mr. Rogers. And meanwhile, Cinderpool's very hairy god mutant Wolverine was...
I'm going to Pim's.
Okay. Thanks for coming, Logie Bear. Honestly, that checks out. I don't think we really had the rights to him back then anyway. Bye. Well, anyway, meanwhile, as the aliens were finally fleeing away in defeat, Cinderpool saw something on the steps of one of the spaceships. It was a single glove.
And a high five. Here you go, kid.
Wow, this glove was so fancy. Big and gold with beautiful jewels. I think there were 6 of them, not that that's really relevant information. I wonder who this fits, thought Cinderpool before trying it on. After some clicking, whizzing, and whirring, it adjusted right to Cinderpool's arm. Then, out of nowhere, Iron Man came flying in out of left field screaming, "Hey, take that off. This is my sacrifice to make, all right? I really don't want to be Iron Man until I'm 90. Please let me go retire somewhere nice like Latveria or something." All right, one person got that. Yeah, don't worry, I'm a little confused myself. Then, other, much less relevant Avengers came running in too, saying things like, "Take that off, that's not a toy, whatever you do, do not snap." So obviously Cinderpool snapped. Cinderpool snapped a bunch, both physically and mentally. Then the weirdest thing happened. It was probably unrelated to Cinderpool's actions, but half of the people kept disappearing, and then reappearing, and then disappearing again. So many people were crying. Tony said "I love you" like 3,000 times, which is kind of mushy. But eventually, everyone did come back. But then the Avengers tackled Cinderpool, ripped off his new favorite glove, and then when they went on to remake the movie, they CGI'd Tony's head onto Cinderpool's majestic body, and it went on to become the most profitable film of the Feige Cinematic Universe. Yeah, the FCU, as I like to call it. I'm still workshopping that acronym. I feel like there's just one too many letters, huh? It's okay, though. Everything honestly worked out for Cinderpool, because Cinderpool went on to start his own, even more successful franchise. Yeah! That's right! Who's relevant now?
You.
Thank you. It was so insanely successful, in fact, that Cinderpool was eventually invited to be part of the Avengers Endgame 2. Electric Boogaloo. No cap, kid. Coming to theaters at, some point. Well, that's the end. Game, if you will. All right, we got a couple pun fans out there, like 3 of them. Thank you so much for that. I practiced that in the shower all morning. All right, well, thank you all for coming to another illustrious story time with Deadpool lovies and dovies. I'll see you next time.